here at home, Brightline is in the middle of a rebranding campaign as Virgin Trains USA. It's the result of a relatively new strategic partnership with Richard Branson's Virgin Group.
And the rebranding comes with major plans for expansion in our area. Patrick Goddard, the president of Brightline, joining us now. Safety, obviously a big concern with the expansion. We were just talking about the recent incident in Pompano Beach with the bicyclist killed, and media reports showing at least 15 people have been killed this year. With the school year beginning, what is your message about public safety?
Well, thank you very much for having me on. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to talk about the business, but also to talk about rail safety in South Florida and nationwide. We have had, I think that all of these incidents have been tragic, and more tragic because they're all preventable. We would encourage people, as we're now going back to school, traffic is sort of more amplified than it normally is. It's a lot busier out there on the roadways. If you're taking kids to school and you're crossing over railway tracks, you need to stop not on the tracks, but before the tracks or after the tracks. A lot of these incidents are as a result of people circumventing the very safety equipment that we put in place to protect them.
Do you think people in South Florida realize how fast those trains are going?
Well, I think that it's a function of we're through a crossing in less than a minute. So I think a lot of people are worried that they're going to have to wait for a long time potentially. But either way, you know, it's against the law to trespass. It's against the law to violate those gates. It's just like a red light. You got to stop. You got to stop, and it'll potentially save your life.
Let's talk about the service.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about ridership?
Yeah.
Which direction is it going, and how are you getting people to switch from their cars to the train?
We're delighted with where we are today relative to, you know, we've been open for about a year. Just a couple of weeks after our first year anniversary, we surpassed 1 million riders on the system, which is phenomenal for a new system. I like to say, people ask me, well, how do you get people out of their cars in South Florida? Everyone's so attached to them. If I had told you 5 years ago that strangers would be picking you up and taking you from your home to work and vice versa, you would have told me I was crazy. Adoption is a normal thing. It's a normal thing that happens in the course of the introduction of a new service or a new product. And little by little, we're prying people's white-knuckled hands off the steering wheel and getting them on the train, and they're really enjoying the benefits.
Well, Patrick, I'm not one of the million you were mentioning. I haven't.
I'm very disappointed about that.
Yes.
By the way, your first ride is free.
Oh, good to know.
Your first, for everyone out there.
I have ridden it and had a very good experience on this.
Glad to hear that.
We hear. Well, I'm a big Disney person. I would love to take it to Orlando. I would be a Disney World annual pass holder if we already had that. What's the construction progression on that looking like?
So we've been operating in South Florida for a year between Miami and West Palm Beach, and we just began construction in April between West Palm Beach and Orlando. 170 miles of tracks. I have to tell you, I mean, this has been a project that's been a number of years in the making. We've been at it since 2012. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a call from a colleague who was flying into Orlando today and was just so excited to see there's actually construction underway. We're laying, we're preparing the site. We're getting ready to lay tracks along those 170 miles. It's a reality. So we'll deliver that in about 3 years, so summer of 2022, more or less. So maybe not along your timeline, but for now, you can take the train to West Palm Beach, skip the first 70 miles, and then rent a car at our Avis Center in Brightline, West Palm Beach.
Now, I know that you've seen delays because you've had to fight communities who don't want the train going through the neighborhoods, but now we're also seeing that communities want the train to go to their neighborhood. Explain that phenomenon.
I think that I think mobility is a big issue nationwide, and particularly in South Florida. We live, in South Florida, we sort of live on a peninsula with the Atlantic Ocean to the east and the Lake Okeechobee to the west, and it's just getting more and more congested in between. Average speeds on 95 are now down to 33 miles an hour. I know plenty of people who experience 20 miles an hour on I-95. So mobility is a big issue for the elected officials in Miami-Dade, Broward, West Palm Beach particularly. That's the most congested part of the corridor. And they're interested in improving mobility for their population, for their citizens.
Boca Raton wants a station, I understand.
So we're in a dialogue right now with Boca Raton, with the elected officials there, with the mayor. They would love to see a stop there. We think it makes a lot of sense, so we'll keep you all posted on that.
Port of Miami, maybe.
Port of Miami. To be able to deliver people right to the cruise ships, we think is a huge advantage for the port. Port has almost 7 million people departing out of there, and it keeps growing every year. So I think it'll alleviate a lot of congestion and improve the experience for people trying to get from north of Florida, points north of Florida, getting them on the train and getting them into the port, I think will be a phenomenal thing.
I have one more question. When will they be Virgin trains, and how will that make a difference?
We're very excited about this partnership with Richard Branson and the Virgin brand. That's going to happen by the end of the year this year. We're very excited about that partnership, not only because Virgin Voyages are launching in February of next year, Virgin Hotels are headquartered down here, Florida's Virgin Holidays' largest market, and Virgin Atlantic flies into both Orlando and Miami. So a lot of synergy, and we look forward to delivering that Virgin experience toward the end of this year.
Thank you so much. Elliot, you seem excited.
Oh, I'm a train lover. You know, I lived in the Northeast, and you know, between Philadelphia, New York, Washington, and Boston,
it's the only way to go.
It's the best way to go.
It's the only way to go.
I keep telling people that, and hopefully they'll listen.
Thank you.
Patrick Goddard, thank you very much.
Thank
My
you
pleasure.
so much.
Thank you.